Good afternoon. I guess it is formally the afternoon. Um, and it is just 4 days to Christmas, but I'm recording this video for after Christmas. So if you haven't done your shopping already, get the shopping done. And you're not going to see this video until after Christmas. So if you're shopping at this point, then you've hopefully been away and unable to shop. Because if you're still shopping for Christmas at this point and you've been around and you've missed the day and you've got other issues. So maybe you have no issues. Maybe you don't celebrate Christmas. At any rate, my name is Daniel Young. I'm the owner and founder of Adapted Perspective and the Adapted Perspective channel here on YouTube, where I help you make your dreams a reality. So continuing on in the financial meme space, if you've seen any of my past videos, you understand that I love strategy and targeted strategy. Targeted strategy. There we go. And that awareness is key because I'm going to continue to keep sifting through these financial memes using our investment strategies along with just some everyday down to earth common sense. So reminders, this is an unedited video. You've already heard me make plenty of mistakes. Who knows what else you'll hear in the background as I film these at my house. Uh, my cat was being extremely needy about 10 minutes ago, so who knows what he'll make. Who knows what he'll be doing. I am not really going to talk about our closed-end fund system today. Um, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll get off track. And then I am not a financial advisor. I am a financial strategist. I like risk management. I like financial strategy. I like strategy. I like logically and rationally talking things through. And that's hopefully what I will do. So I'm not out to slander anybody. I'm really just interested in sifting out the good from the bad because none of us want bad advice, especially none of us want bad financial advice. So let's get into this. I'm talking about a meme that I've honestly been avoiding. It's hard to get into on screen, um, but I'm going to attempt it. So I'm on my Pinterest account, and we're going to this board, income memes, which I need to offload some more financial memes off my phone. And if you scroll mostly down, almost all the way down to the end of the list, you'll encounter this meme, which is pictured here. Uh, pick your pick your medium. Pinterest, TikTok, Instagram. I'm not on Snapchat, so I can't testify to that. Facebook. Somebody at some point has posted something like this, and you've seen it. Find, and the advice is do compounding interest. Like find an account and do this. And the problem is, I mean, it sounds like great advice, right? It sounds amazing. It goes back to the old math problem and the old math question. Would you rather get 2 cents a day for the rest of your life, or would you rather have 2 cents compounded every day for the rest of your life? Well, banks don't compound interest like they used to. They used to compound interest daily. So 2 cents compounded daily for a while gets you $1 million pretty quick. But the banks wisened up. They don't pay out interest that way anymore. The banks can lend your money at 10 times the amount that you deposit your money. So if you deposit $1,000 into your bank can lend out your money for 10 times the amount, so 10 grand. Whatever money they're making off that is a lot higher than whatever interest payment they're paying you. So you might have 10 grand stashed in your bank and they're paying you a 0.5% interest, but you're actually losing money every year. And I'll get to that, right? So this sounds amazing. 15% annual return on 10 grand compounded over 5 years doubles your money. But what does that really look like? So you can Google search compound interest calculator. And I like this one. Uh, you can put in your initial deposit, so 10 grand, no monthly contribution. You can figure out when you want it. So like if you put in a number here, the chart automatically changes, right? And it'll change less if you do it every year. but we're going to go with zero for now. Years of growth, 5 years like the mean. Annualized rate of return. Okay. And if it's compounded monthly with no contribution, it's a little bit more than double. If you do it annually, there you go. So every year, right, it multiplies. The thing is, even in limited, not even high risk, just limited market. Like for a while, Morgan Stanley, because we do part of our banking at Morgan Stanley. For a while, Morgan Stanley was offering 8% on any money that's just parked. So your emergency fund, your short or long-term saving, like your job loss or your disability fund, any money that's just parked long-term grows. 8% is pretty good. So if your say your monthly salary is 5 grand before all, actually after all taxes, we'll say that makes it easy. So if your monthly profit off your paycheck is 5 grand and you wanted a 6 month job loss fund on the 5 grand, so that would be a $30,000 amount of money just sitting there, and you wouldn't be touching it unless you either lose your job or you get injured and you can't work. You're not contributing money to it. It's just there. The years of growth, you're not planning on taking anything out. So maybe we'll just throw a number out. So in 20 years, but it's not 15%, it's 8. That's still a lot of money. But regardless of what the Fed says, there's about 4% inflation every year. So, I mean, think about it. Even if you believe their numbers and they reduce inflation to 2%, there's at least 4%. I would say there's a 2 to 3% variation in that number. So even at 0% inflation, I would say there's still at least 2 to 3% inflation. So even if the Fed reduces the rate to 4%, you're only making 4% a year on your money because it's being devalued by 4% a year. Right? So 8% return or 8% return over 20 years on 30 grand is pretty good. That's amazing, right? But if you actually factor out inflation, so that amount will be in your account, but based on inflation, it's only worth that. So if you had 10 grand parked at your bank and you put it in the standard account, you're making, that's my girl's getting home, and you're making 0.5% a year. That sounds great. Right? But it's not that way. If with inflation at 4%, you're losing 3.5% a year. So you're losing $350 on your 10 grand that's parked, earning 0.5% in interest. So if you find a high yield account, that's great. Hey, on video, but it's okay. So you're not getting the full amount. And I don't know of anybody paying 15% a year. And if you do, by all means share, because the rest of us don't. And even at 15%, it's not, but 11%, I mean, that's still better than 4%. So is the meme in and of itself true? Yes. Of what they've pictured, it's true. But in reality, I don't know if anybody paying that. So if you find somebody paying that, you really do want to actually verify the claim before you sign up for it. So if I say anything else, I'll just be rambling. Although who knows if my girls will continue to distract. So if you like the content, consider subscribing to my channel. Hit the like button and then head over to Facebook and join my group there. called Navigate Your Finances. You get to see my notes. Not exactly my intention. Uh, and just remember, regardless of what's on your horizon, you are the captain of your ship. So point your ship where it needs to go, one, but then two, know where you're going and why, right? Like if you know where you want to go, that's one thing. But if you know the reason behind it, the real why of where you're headed, that will define your journey more than the map and more than knowing the general direction, because that reason will help you when it's really hard, right? And it'll help you when it's really easy. It's like one of those buffer lanes in bowling. Like the ball still goes forward, right? But if you're bouncing around a lot, you're not exactly making an easy journey forward. Now, sometimes we do bounce around a lot, and if you intentionally try to skip the guardrail, it goes off, but you're still going forward. That's not the point. The ideal situation is that we prioritize and fix the trajectory of the ball to where we have as little impediment as possible so we get the best distance and best strike force out of the ball. And really, that's what we're trying to do with our money. So, captain your ship well, lead your ship well, know where you're going and why. And if none of that really makes sense, go to Facebook, check my group out. And I talk about why, I talk about goals, I talk about dreams, I talk about how to get from where you are to where you want to be. So, let's see, at this point, it is post Christmas, or I guess currently it's before Christmas, but by the time this post, it'll be after Christmas. So I hope you have a great new year. Hope your Christmas went well. I hope you have a great new year. And I will be back making more videos next year. So yeah, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Talk to y'all later. Bye bye.